I'm Tammy Rusznak, and today we're interviewing Torrance vocal coach Michelle Bourque. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you.
So let's just jump into it. You've been a vocal coach for 20 years. Tell us how you got started and what you're doing today.
I started, like you said, over 20 years ago, and I think it started with singing and teaching at the same time because I just enjoyed it and I loved it. And actually, to be very honest, before I even got my degree, I was performing with a group called True Colors Edutainment, and it was funny and it had purpose and it had meaning, and we were teaching at that time. So part of performing were actually in-service programs that we taught on the guidance of, it was based back then on the Myers-Briggs personality test, and so we were using comedy and music to teach people to understand that our differences were based on personality colors. And it was synonymous to me, so I've always been teaching. And even probably before that, when I was a child and my friends wanted to learn the piano because that was my first instrument. So I guess teaching has always been a part of my life. And so through the years, I taught with, LAUSD, several nonprofits, including the LA Philharmonic School, and the Harmony Project, the Los Angeles Philharmonic, Santa Monica College, and so it's just naturally led to eventually my own program or my own company. And I also taught with Guild Opera Company, taught and performed as well. So it really has been a labor of love in both respects because I've always loved performing and I really do love teaching. And so we've built a company that the focus is on our students, and so that's how Skylight came to be.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say you founded a company called Skylight Academy of Music, correct?
Yes.
And but prior to that, you actually had your you taught music in a different way at Marshall Music, correct?
Yes.
So tell us about the difference of being a vocal coach at a place that is not yours and now having your own business today.
That's a good question. Well, when we were working through Marshall Music, which was a great print establishment store, if people remember back in the day, you used to get so much music, and they had rental instruments as well. You're just renting the room, so you're sort of teaching. You have your own studio and you have your own concerts and performances, and it was just on a smaller scale. And when I decided to form my company, there were a lot more elements to take into consideration and to really just sort of hopefully raise the level. Like anything else in life, you want to continue to improve yourself as well as those who are under your guidance. So having my own company, I just hope that we are providing more excellence as we go and more opportunities to perform, to learn, and you honestly, you are in charge of everything. So like anything else, your name, you're on the business side of it, which is different from the teaching and the performing side, and establishing wonderful relationships with different organizations who would love to have music, and so we give our students those opportunities. They've had the fortune of being able to come here as well and participate, so giving our students as much excellence and opportunity with ease, joy, and fun, because at the end of the day, we need to have fun doing what we're doing.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's talk about the teaching. Is it different giving lessons, opera lessons versus, say, jazz or pop vocal lessons? What's the difference?
For me, the technique is always the same. We don't want you to hurt yourself. We want you to sing in a healthy way. So you're going to learn about your instrument, where the sound is. Most people don't know that the sound is in your larynx, the vocal folds. And you learn how to utilize them and to mix your sound. With opera, you are singing more acoustically, so it is on a larger scale. But the elements are essentially, for me, in the way that I teach, and I think they are a lot the same because it's healthy singing. Jazz and pop, it's more forward, so you're doing different things vocally, but at the end of the day, the goal is always healthy singing, having fun, singing correctly, singing confidently, and allowing yourself to speak through the music. Don't let the music sing you, or I should say, it's probably the other way around. Let the music sing you. Stop getting in the way of the music. So integrating musicality, the enjoyment, making sure it's in tune without straining. Don't push, don't shout. All these things, they apply to me, to all genres and all styles.
Okay. So talking about staying on that same subject, do you want to move into do more vocal coaching in the pop genre, or do you want to stay with the opera vocal coaching?
I enjoy all my students. So I don't necessarily personally feel like I have to choose, because if there is a certain way or a certain style that somebody is singing that challenges me, that's also fun for me. So I'm always adapting technique to their needs. So if somebody's singing more pop, which is often the case because we have a lot of pop or musical theater singers, more so than opera, just for me personally at this point, but I will make sure that they are singing just as well, that they are, when it comes to pop singing, there's a different sense of authenticity, because usually you're singing sort of, I guess, runs, or you're creating your own style. Most pop singers have a style, and I try to encourage, especially pop singers or musical theater singers, to develop their own style, be themselves. I don't want you to be the recording. I don't want you to be the singer that you are trying to emulate. Mm-hmm. While it's wonderful and it's kind, there's only one you, and you are the one that I want to hear, and mm-hmm. your voice and your creativity, you matter more.
Okay. So with all that said, who are your musical influences?
Ooh, music as in teaching, or
I think I would say the people that influenced you throughout your career.
Well, I will honestly say I loved watching Leonard Bernstein.
Okay.
Especially even as a teacher, he was just always so funny. I loved the way he taught his students. Mm-hmm. And I can't think of this wonderful gentleman. He's a famous pianist, and he was so funny, and I just can't think of his name. I hope we can locate that afterwards.
If it comes to mind, just say it. Okay. So we're going to do rapid fire.
Okay.
Who's your favorite pop vocalist?
Pop vocalist. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I have a favorite pop vocalist. Yeah, I don't have a favorite pop vocalist.
Okay. How about Broadway singers?
Broadway singers. That's a really good question. I kind of go back to some of the standards. So I loved Julie Andrews. So current, I think.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay. And opera singers?
Opera singers. Well, some of the standards are Pavarotti, Renee Fleming, but
those are two very nice names that you tossed out there. Very nice. Yeah. So
standard answers for some of those questions, I think.
Okay. Any more names you want to throw at us before we go to a commercial break? Favorite vocalist of any genre?
Favorite vocalist. I just think I love all different styles. All if you want to talk about jazz, you've got Ella Fitzgerald, you've got I want to say Billie Holiday. They're just too many to honestly to.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you've shared a few with us. So you know what? Right now we're going to go to a commercial break. We'll be right back.